So wait a minute. Tell me how
I'm
you
okay. How much
really
money he
feel.
made?
How do you
This
really feel
guy,
about Batman?
this guy, that the guy who did it. Oh, let me just hear me out before you're throwing stuff at me or whatever. He nailed it with Heath Ledger as Joker. God rest his soul.
Right.
And the guy who played Harvey Dent. He got into the character's mind. He nailed it.
Right.
He was so off in number three. Bruce Wayne not being Batman for 8 years because that girl died. We're talking Bruce Wayne. Why did he become Batman? His parents were killed. So what? Somebody he loved died. His parents were killed. That's what made him Batman. If this guy bothered to read the comics, he'd see Batman would fight you with two broken legs. He'd be like that guy from Monty Python and the Holy Grail who had his arms cut off and his legs cut off. And he's saying, come here, I'll bite you. That's Bruce Wayne. He won't give it up.
Right.
And they kept saying over and over. I thought I heard it wrong the first time. And then he said it like two or three more times
Yeah.
that it's the suit. It's not the suit. In no way is it the suit.
He would never say that. First of all,
First of all, they tried that. How many times they put other people in the Batman suit? It didn't work. We wanted Bruce Wayne back.
right.
They killed Bruce Wayne. We wanted Bruce Wayne back. Yeah, but they finally put Dick Grayson into the bat suit. Who cares?
Well, technically, the director said that was not Dick Grayson at the end. He said
No, I
that
know.
he
It
was
wasn't.
trying to
But
toy with the well, excuse me, with the fans, which was very insulting, because
very.
because he wasn't Dick Grayson. He was.
No, it wasn't.
But he said, "Oh, part of my name is really Robin." But why even bother?
I
That was
wanted my
just
money
stupid.
back so bad when I saw that movie. And Bane, he's the way he sounded like a poor imitation of Sean Connery. He didn't even. I was like, "Is this Sean? Is he trying? Did he come out of retirement playing this part?"
Actually, it sounded like Sean Connery when he did Dragonheart.
Oh, hey,
I thought it was Dragonheart.
I actually heard he wasn't going to do that until he saw the paycheck. Then he did it.
Oh wow.
So, um,
Okay.
yeah, no,
Gangster.
that was really bad. I mean, that was really bad. Batman whining. Batman doesn't whine. Then Batman running to everybody for help.
Right.
He's asking that kid to help. He's asking Catwoman to help. Did this guy ever read the Batman comic? I mean, I can't believe how he got into the Joker's head, got into Two-Face's head, and he had no idea who the hell Bruce Wayne was. And again, what does he do at the end? Rips off Adam West anyway, have him get a bomb and pretend he...
I thought I was watching the '60s version. You know that the cool swing jazz music when he's running.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Oh, yeah.
Some days Hollywood can't stop but make a bomb. That was I no. I'm not buying that DVD. I'll tell you that.
Well, one thing. Well, you said a good point about Bruce Wayne became Batman because his parents. That's a key factor. And part two, more than him learning martial arts or being a ninja, he was a detective.
Thank you very much.
He was a detective. So he's
That's in
not
my
going to do
article.
anything without
Guys, you my
research.
article. That was it. I remember I put that in my first couple of lines of my article. I said I've been a comic fan for a long time,
Right.
and even when I was getting my master degrees,
Mhm.
and I'm telling you, I read detective comics in my criminology courses, but that was the day when Batman was a detective, not this anybody in the suit, anybody can wear the suit thing.
Right.
You know?
Because that's how Hollywood feels about it. So they have to slowly put that in because that's what they're thinking. And to some degree, I get it because they do have, a certain amount of fans that, like, no matter what, if you put out Wonder Woman, there's a certain percentage of people that are just going to check it out of curiosity, you know? But it's not just the bracelets and the garter belt. You gotta act. You gotta be that person. And the script has to embrace that character. It just can't again, Catwoman. Catwoman is like the standard of you just can't put someone famous and pretty, so in a role and just say, hey, this is that person. No, you need a good story.
You're
You need a
totally
story.
right. You're totally right. Totally agree. But they like they just say like whoever's how. Like I said, when Michael Keaton first played Batman,
Hmm.
oh,
Everybody was against it.
oh, they were against it. Mr.
Yeah.
Mom is Batman. Mr. Mom is playing Batman.
Right.
No, they were against that. Michael put it off. I mean, he brought his game to it. Go down the franchise 3 movies. Oh, George Clooney. Put George Clooney in the suit. That movie almost ruined the whole franchise.
Right.
In fact, they stopped making Batman movies after that for a while.
Well,
When
then they
George
had
Clooney,
what's his name? Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer was
He played Batman.
actually that did well. That movie
It was
did
a
do
little
well.
darker, which was good, but he wasn't great actor. But you didn't have
I
that
didn't
feel.
I didn't like him as a no. I didn't like him as Batman either. I was I had gotten so used to Michael Keaton, playing him after 2 movies.
Right.
And then the third one, from what I read, was that Michael wanted more money and they wouldn't give it.
Mm.
And but in that movie, they had Tommy Lee Jones, who was in Captain America. And Tommy Lee Jones, he played Two-Face.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible Two-Face. He was just laughing and whatever.
He was more like a Joker.
Yeah,
He was
it was
more like the
Joker.
'60s version of the Joker
Yeah.
rather than Two-Face.
Yeah.
But
whereas
now
that
the
movie,
newer
Ledger, Aaron Eckhart, that was his name.
oh.
Aaron Eckhart played him.
Mm-hmm.
He did a great job. I mean, he got into that guy's mind too. It's just like you said. It's they got to get into the role of the character. They got to know who they're playing.
But the role of Joker was played so well, and this you could tell whoever was writing it really felt Joker so well that, to be honest, it really didn't matter who played Batman in that particular one.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
I mean, you
I
pretty much
know
just walked through
Joker.
that film, wore the suit, the suit, the car, everything kind of played the role for for him.
But you know what? When it comes to Batman,
Mm-hmm.
as much as I love Batman and my kids love Batman,
Mm-hmm.
His whole comic book career, it's been his villains.
Yeah.
He has the best villains. The
Yeah.
villains make the hero.
Right.
You can't, and that goes in anything. You even pro wrestling.
Right. That's
Hulk
true.
Hogan would not have been Hulk Hogan if Roddy Piper wasn't there giving him hell all the time.
That's true.
And I met Roddy. He's a good guy. And he pulled off that movie They Live. Did you see They Live with Roddy Piper?
Man. Is
Keith
that
David?
the one? Is that the one with the glasses?
Yeah, with the sunglasses.
Okay. See, I know some things.
He ad-libbed that line when he said he walked into the bank and he said, "I've got what did he say? Something. He goes, something about his gun and chewing gum." And he's all out of bullets. Something about that line. It was a big line. It ended up being on T-shirts. And he said he regrets he didn't trademark that thing. He would have made a lot of money off that line. But again, yeah, it's the villains that make the hero. Batman pretty much is, he's a guy who's snapped, and they're lucky that he fights on the side of justice.
Mm-hmm.
He easily could have said, all right, I'm going to be the biggest, kingpin around.
Right.
Instead, that's why he's a lot like his villains.
Well, that's also why they really have to build up, just to wind it down on the DC end, they really have to build up and select really good villains and have some sort of compelling thing that why are we watching these people, and what makes the Justice League or the League of Justice so much better than the Avengers. I mean, growing up, we feel that way because we had the comic books, we had the cartoons, we had the toys, the underoos, we had all these different things. But now it's like, okay, you really got to show me something because I didn't grow up with the Avengers. So this was all kind of, I knew the characters separately, but I never knew them together as the Avengers. And they sold it. Okay, this makes sense. I could, I love the Hulk. I like Iron Man. I like all these different characters separate. So, oh wow, they're coming together even better. You know, and I'm curious if they're going to eventually add Spider-Man to the Avengers because Spider-Man was a part of the Avengers at a time.
Well, recently, right, when they did that after
Before,
that
but
whole Civil War thing. In
right.
fact, well, that was the thing. That's why the thing with the Justice League was when they first created it in the '60s.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of like I said, a lot of their titles imploded, and they cut back on titles. So they were like, well, the kids can't afford to buy Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. So let's stick them into one comic. And that's what they did, and that's how they got the Justice League. So what really DC did was they took their popular characters and stuck them together. Well, Marvel, they had Cap and Iron Man, whatever. But then Spidey was popular. They didn't put him in. Wolverine blew up with the X-Men,
Mm-hmm.
And it's only recently that Marvel did what DC did years ago, put the popular guys together in one comic book. Mm. Now Wolverine and Spider-Man are Avengers.
Gotcha.
It's stuff like they should have. They should look at this before they do the movies and before they license their guys out.
It makes no sense for Wolverine
isn't
to
Spider-Man
be a
with
part.
Sony or something?
Is he what?
Isn't the Spider-Man movie under Sony?
I'm not too.
It doesn't. Isn't it under the Sony license? Because I think Thor, Cap, and Iron Man, the Avengers are under the Disney, directly under Marvel. They're doing it.
Right.
The Marvel Studios.
But Wolverine shouldn't, in theory, Wolverine shouldn't be a part of the Avengers because the world in which Wolverine lives in just talks about people basically evolving, mutating, versus here's a guy that came from another planet and he's Superman versus, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, doesn't make sense. Even though that's DC and Marvel. Sorry, the reference, but using the example that you have all these X-Men, then we wouldn't call them mutants. We'd just say they were superheroes. Like he should stay separate. Does that make sense or not?
So Wolverine pretty much is a loner.
Right. No, but I'm just saying, like in the world in which Wolverine lives, it doesn't make sense for him to be next to Thor or these other people. In theory.
I see your point. But again, he's just so. I think he's been on every team. The only team he hasn't been on is the Fantastic Four. Whoop! Did I just give Marvel an idea?
Oh, don't do that.
He's been a defender. He's been a
Avenger, defender.
I heard rumors on the internet he'll be the Powerpuff Girls joining. So, this Wolverine does what Wolverine wants, I guess. But I don't know. Some characters the Avengers go up to, they could use Wolverine.
Right.
And that was a good movie too. It just started. The First Man X Class, X-Men
First Class. That was pretty good.
That really I think it got everyone off guard and how good it was. It wasn't a big budget thing like the Avengers or whatever, but the stories were great.
Mm-hmm.
They got into everybody's character.
What do you think about the new one coming out? I'm a little etchy on that. This whole playing with time, going back in time thing. It's easy
That,
to.
um,
I'm not a fan of that.
yeah, that's real. That's real Star Trekky kind of stuff. You gotta pretty much know what you're doing with that. But if they're gonna do what I think they did with the comic,
Mm-hmm.
because I know that's a comic like from the '80s that dealt with this kind of subject matter that they're doing in this movie. They followed along that in my work. I think it's just a way of them to get fans to pay more money to see all their X-Men characters together.
Right.
Um,
Also,
we'll
it's a
see how
smooth
it's done.
way for.
This whole thing with flashbacks, it seems to be a popular thing now. They're doing it on Arrow.
Okay.
They're doing it on I remember my daughter. She was into that Once Upon a Time thing on Sundays. I don't know if you ever caught that.
Mm-mm.
No. And they did.
I
Well,
boycotted. I was like, I'm not seeing that.
Well,
Also, we had the Eclectic show on Sundays. Now the Eclectic show's on Mondays. So.
oh, okay. But I didn't catch. But the thing is, at the beginning, it was cool
Right.
watching the flashbacks. Something new, something different. Second season, all right, it's beginning to wear thin. We haven't watched the third season, and I found out last week that the UK actually stopped showing the show.
Wow.
It just
It's a good sign. It's gonna.
fast,
That's it for here. Yeah.
it's just like enough with this.
Right.
And
Well, we're
we'll
about
see
to be
how
about to be up on time. So just want to thank everyone that happened to check us out. This is just the first run of Eclecticka, where we talk about everything sci-fi, adventure, comic books, that whole world, even little cosplay. So thank you very much, Dean. And yeah, we'll be here. What time? Every 7 o'clock on Mondays. Check us out. Again, go to soniceclectic.com and click the live tab, and then there will be.